Hopefully now you're a little more comfortable with naming those angles like alternating interior, same side, consecutive, corresponding. And now we're just going to use some algebra. So it's the same vocabulary that we need, but now we're going to put some algebra to it. So first we're going to classify these angles. These are alternating exterior angles. So alternating exterior angles we know are congruent because these are parallel. The only reason I can say this is because it's telling me that these lines are parallel. So I have 8x plus 19 is going to equal 139. So subtract 19 from both sides. 8x equals 120. Divide by 8. X equals 15. And it's wanting me to find the value of x. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm finding the value of x. Look at number 4. Number 4, we're talking about these angles here, and that's going to be consecutive interior, and we know consecutive interior add up to 180 degrees. So now my equation looks different. It says 6x plus 2 plus 11x minus 9 is going to equal 180 degrees, and you guys know how to solve this. Combine like terms. So I'm adding 7 sides, 17x equals 187, so 17, so x equals 11. And all I'm doing is I'm solving for x. So x equals 11. Let's go through and let's look at number 5. Number 5, what kind of angles are these? These only because they're parallel can I do this. These are corresponding. If you cut a line and pick these up, they would sit right on top of each other. So those guys are corresponding. And corresponding angles equal each other. So corresponding angles, and they are congruent. So I know that 9x minus 20 equals 7x plus 18. Subtract 7 on both sides. Add 20 on both sides. So x equals 19. And I'm just solving for x. I don't need to do anything else. So that's how you solve the ones with algebra. Let's do a couple on the back real quick. Excuse me. All right, so here they give us a diagram, and then they're just going to tell us. So if they give you a diagram, put the angle measurements where they belong. So x, y, v, this angle right here, is going to be 8x plus 11, and YVW, this guy right here, is going to be 12x minus 1. So what kind of angles are these? These are alternating interior angles, and alternating interior angles are congruent, so I'm going to set them equal to each other. So 8x plus 11 is equal to 12x minus 1. I'm going to subtract 8x on both sides. I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and I get x equals 3. But that is not what the question's asking. The question is asking, find the measure of YVW. So I'm going to take this measurement, 12x minus 1, and I'm going to plug in 3 for x. So I get 36 minus 1, and I know the measurement of angle YVW is equal to 35 degrees. So make sure you're answering what the question's asking. Let's go down and look at number 13. All right. So it's telling us R and S are parallel, so I'm going to make those marks just so I know on my paper that they're parallel. And it says angle 6 right here is 8x minus 3, and angle 7 is 15x minus 1. Find all of these angle measurements. Well, what do you know about 7 and 6? You know they're consecutive interior, and you know consecutive interior means congruency. Oh, no, it doesn't. What am I doing? No, it doesn't. Consecutive interior means they're supplementary. So these guys are going to add up to 180 degrees. So 15x minus 1 plus 8x minus 3 is all equal to 180 degrees. So 23x minus 4 equals 180. And you can solve it algebraically. You do not need me here. And I get 23x equals 184. When I divide both sides by 23, I get x equals 8. Okay, so now I know my value of x is 8, but that's not what the question's asking. It wants me to go back and solve for all these. So I'm going to plug in 8 for x, and I get 64 minus 3 is 61 degrees. So angle 6 is going to be 61 degrees. I know that these guys are supplementary, so if this is 61, angle 7 is going to be 179. No, it's not 1, excuse me. 1, why can't I do this? 119. There we go, 119. So if that guy is 119, angle 7, I'm just going to go back and fill these in. 7 and 3 are alternating interiors. 6 and 4 are vertical. 3 and 5 are vertical. 7 and 1 are vertical. 6 and 2 are alternating interiors. And 2 and 8 are vertical. So many ways you could name those angles. I'm just going to write them all down. Angle 2 is 61. Angle 3 is 119. Angle 4 is 61. Angle 5 is 119. And angle 8 is 61. So that's how you use algebra and these statements. If you need some help, come and see me.